Hi, I'm Patrick Evard, and welcome to A Bridge Between. Now, I know most of you have probably read the headline, and you're like, oh my gosh, he's doing a video on this? Now I'm curious. Is he going to be one of those people that is full mess, or is he going to bash on it? Is he going to bash on all the things that is going on? Is he really mad about what's happening? That is not what this video is. And I'm allowed to take that off because there's no one around me at all. Hello? Yeah, we're good. No, this video is not related to that. I won't say the word because I'm pretty sure YouTube will take me down if I do say what the word is. You all know what I'm talking about, not what this video is about. This video, now somewhat in relation to that, has to do with our social distancing from one another long before all of this went down. You see, for a while, it had to do more so with the cliques we lived in. You know, whether you were in that group, maybe this group, we all had our different groups. That was okay. Then it became technology, which I'm not bashing considering I'm using technology right now, but technology then became a thing of, well, I'm on my phone all the time. I have to film the entire concert and make sure everybody knows, and everyone's like, rock on, dude! And you're like, yeah, I'm pretty much at the concert with you. Didn't even have to go. We take pictures of food, we take pictures of going out, because if we don't, then the food never existed, and what we did when we hung out with our friends never happened, unless you post it. I'm not saying these are bad things, considering I do this as well. I'm just saying this is another way that we began to start to socially distant from one another. You see, our phones kind of took over all things. If you had a question about, who won this basketball game, well, here's your phone. You don't have any discussion about it. If you wanted to know what happened in 1933 on this day, instead of having a discussion, you just pull out your phone. It killed debating and any kind of disagreement. And unfortunately, that happens a lot these days. We disagree on everything. Seriously, everything. Is the dress blue and white or is it gold and green? Nobody cares. It's a dress that I'm never going to wear, and 99% of the people I know won't either. Just saying. But our phones then took over more than just the conversations. We began to rely on them. And I don't mean a GPS because, I can't get anywhere without a GPS either. But when you're hanging out with friends and you're always on your phone, or you're taking a Snapchat, or you're posting on your story, or you're trying to come up with the next thing, and it just consumed us, and you missed that interaction, especially between the eyes, between the smiles, and we lost out on that. And then when things forced us into this, we didn't know what to do. And we began to socially distant, not only from our friends, but from God. We got further and further from God. The worse things got, the further we got. And that is the opposite of what the Gospels say. That is the opposite of what we were taught. You see, when things get hard, we're supposed to go to God and embrace Him and ask for Him. And when we talk about how, things are hard, and He's not doing anything, well, that's us treating God like Santa Claus. Just wanting things and disappointed when we don't get them. Prayers can be answered that moment. They can be answered weeks. They can be answered months. They can be answered years later. We won't know until they're answered. And I constantly get asked, well, why would you pray then? Why would you care? Why do you want that to be a part of your life? Because I've seen the beauty of being closer to God. But see, I was terrified of that. And I got as far away from God as I possibly could. I was afraid of where He was leading me. I was afraid that He wasn't going to be there when I needed Him. I was afraid I wouldn't be good enough for what He had me on the path for. You see, I did not want to be in the job I'm in right now. I thought I could do plenty of other things. I didn't want to have to be like my mom and dad. My dad, the youth minister, leading high school, middle school teens. My mom, traveling the country, speaking, helping people out. I didn't want to do those things. I just wanted to live my life. And I always kind of got the, oh, you're your father's son or your mother's son. And I didn't like that, and I wanted to get as far away from that as I possibly could. And the more and more I walked away from it, the further I got from God. I put myself in isolation. I put myself socially distant from the good in my life. And as the saying goes on the internet these days, God said, "Hold my beer." And he got to work. God then slowly began to pull me closer and closer and closer to these things. First, he got me to really enjoy speaking to others, to getting to talk to other people, all sorts of people, being all over, and getting to tell stories. And I love telling stories, obviously, because we're on episode 9, and I'm still doing this. And then he began to pull me closer into ministry. Started helping again. I started being there again. And when I thought I wasn't ever going to truly fall in, he pushed me over the edge and got me there. I had the worst day of work. And I walked in, and the priest told me, "Oh, we need to find you a job in ministry." And a week later, this job where I'm at now opened up. And I was in tears after it because I knew this is where I belonged. And so then when we all went into shutdown, I began to distance myself again. I began to think I had all these amazing plans. And one of my high school teens, being the very bright and very faithful person they are, said, "Get out of the way and let God come up with the plans." How amazing is that? And he was so right. See, I kept trying to still do my own thing when God's like, "Woo-hoo-hoo, I got you." And I took it to prayer, and I dove into prayer, and I found that my relationship got stronger the closer I got. That when I lived to the Gospels, it changed my life. It's not when we're falling into sin and we're falling into these struggles and we're falling into addictions and we don't know where to turn that we should say, "Well, God doesn't want me in his life. God's going to be upset with me." God wants you more than ever to be right there with him, for him to embrace you as you go running to him, no longer wanting to be far away, no longer wanting to be socially distant from him. He will embrace you. He will love you. He will break those chains. He wants to be in your life. To have faith like Daniel did when he walked into the lion's den, like Joseph did when he was placed in prison. He wants you in his life, and you should want to be in his. I can't tell you how many times I feel lost, only to find my way back to him. But as the lost sheep, he will find me, for he is my shepherd. And we are all lost sheep. And we are all struggling. But there is a way, there is a truth, and there is a life. And it is amazing, and it is there. And I want to open up a dialogue with anyone who feels lost and doesn't even feel like, I don't want to be religious. You don't have to be for us to talk. You don't have to be for us to sit down and have a conversation. And my challenge for you all is to find someone who, even if they may not see it, are a little lost right now. And just ask how they're doing today. See how their day is going. See how their week is going. Because as we get closer to Him, we get closer to bridging that gap. Thank you.